I'm Dana Denta, and you're watching FYI. Ann Arbor is on the cutting edge of environmental technology, and the Green Fair celebrates some of the city's climate change successes and unveils the latest in tech. Watch.
We're here at the Green Fair where we're asking all folks passing through Ann Arbor or Ann Arbor residents to come out and learn about some of the energy efficiency and decarbonization and overall A20 work that's happening in the city of Ann Arbor.
We redistribute medical supplies from areas of access to areas in need, both locally and internationally. Anytime you're in a healthcare clinic, just being mindful of the supplies that you're using and not throwing things that are perfectly usable away, because there are people out there in the world that could really benefit from it.
I'm here representing our home energy rebate program, and I'm actually next to our home energy advisor program. Both of these programs are available for residents and the community who are interested in starting their decarbonization journey within their homes.
What I love about Ann Arbor is the green spirit that I've seen evolving. And I think more and more we need to support efforts like what they're doing here.
It's a really great place to just learn the great things that people are doing out here.
You get to learn about more programs in the community. It also shows the folks who are doing this work that you're interested, that the work we're doing is motivating you and pushing you forward.
Stay tuned, and we'll be back with more in exactly 30 seconds. The city is home to more than 160 must-see parks with scenic views, places to play, and some top-notch facilities. See all that the Ann Arbor Farmers Market has during this Park Peek.
The Ann Arbor Farmers Market, located at 315 Detroit Street, proudly brings fresh produce, beverages, artisan items, and more to the community all year. Our 105-year-old market is producer only, featuring 125 vendors from Michigan. At market, you will find seasonal fruit and vegetables, mushrooms, herbs, farm fresh eggs, flowers, plants, honey, coffee, jewelry, art, and so much more. Market tokens for credit, debit, mobile pay, and double up food bucks can be purchased at our market office trailer. The market is open year-round, from 7 to 3 on Wednesdays and Saturdays, May through December. Between January and April, it will be open on Saturdays only, from 8 to 3. Learn more about the long and unique history of our market at a2gov.org/market.
Questions are the first step to find solutions to most issues. And now the city is utilizing an AI virtual assistant to help with all municipal needs. Learn how to activate Ask Ann in this month's City Roundup.
The City of Ann Arbor has launched Ask Ann, a fully integrated and automated web chat assistant that helps people find information from the city 24/7. Ask Ann is built into a2gov.org, utilizing the technology behind large language models, or conversational artificial intelligence, which makes it easier for anyone to get quick answers to questions and find detailed information. Ask Ann understands and communicates proficiently in 71 different languages. To chat with Ask Ann, visit a2gov.org on a computer, tablet, or phone, and Ask Ann will appear on the bottom right section of your browser. Clicking the Ask Ann icon launches the chat window. Ask Ann also gives people the ability to message city staff if they can't get their question answered or are having difficulty. Want to know? Ask Ann.
An everlasting love can cross all boundaries, including death. At least that's the case with The Brain That Wouldn't Die. Originally premiering as a motion picture in the 1960s, one local artist reimagined the work into a musical theater production, taking over the stage at Riverside Arts Center this spooky season. Joining me is Carla Margolis, writer, director, and composer of The Brain That Wouldn't Die. Welcome back to the show, Carla.
Hi, nice to see you again.
Carla, I always like to talk about yourself a little bit. Why don't you tell us a little bit about you, your background, and your ability to be able to take some original material and make it into new original material?
Sure. Well, my father was a jazz musician, and my mother was an actress and dancer in musical theater. And we lived in New York when I was growing up, so I had a lot of experience seeing all of those things. And my dad always felt that I had a composer's bent, even though I happen to be a jazz singer. Well, I'm classical. I'm a singer, an actress myself.
Uh-huh.
And so I have been trying my hand at composing since I was little. I had ideas for composing, and when I got to Ann Arbor about 20 something years ago, I composed and wrote a musical for Young People's Theater, Dazzle, and I had adapted that book. And then from then on, I started writing and composing lots of musicals for children to perform. And so this is my first a full-length musical for adults. And I started writing this during the pandemic shutdown. I think a lot of people did things during that shutdown.
Yeah, it really brought out your creativity, right?
Yes. So I'm very excited. I have departed from the core story is the same. The core ideas are the same in the show versus the movie, but I have departed considerably in many ways.
Well, I think that's also like the fun of making something, like having this original piece, but then sort of making it your own and adapting it for something different. And can you tell us a little bit? I mean, the movie's from the 1960s, so it's not really what the kind of movie we expect to see today.
Yes. Well, so I have set it in 1962, and there are themes that I have augmented. For example, lack of autonomy, lack of women's autonomy.
Mm-hmm.
Also the misogyny that was prevalent at that time. And so it is satirical. It is funny, but it is also, there's a serious element to it. And it's, all of the humor is dark, but yeah. So I would like to think that I have elevated the themes and brought out more. Also, there's an element of Greek tragedy in a way, whereas one of the main characters, the thing that drives him is also the thing that destroys him, too. So even though he's well-intentioned initially, it doesn't go well. I don't think I'm spoiling anything by saying that.
Just the name alone would make me think that it's not going to go well.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Was there music in it originally, or you are just like creating all the music?
Okay, so it was not a musical,
Mm-hmm.
but it did have some sort of interesting sort of, I don't know, sleazy music in it that sort of captured my imagination initially at certain points. But I have created all the music. It'll be all singing, all dancing, Brain That Wouldn't Die. And also the script is 99.999999999% mine. I just kept in a couple of lines from the movie that were so weird, like such a weird thing to say, I was just like, oh, I have to leave that in because that's just nobody. That's just so weird.
I actually wonder if audiences will have seen this movie, or maybe like a small portion maybe have seen it when they come to see yours for comparison.
Sure. Well, I'd love that. I was hoping to I kept the title the same in hopes that it would capture people who love this film. It has a cult following. It's one of those so bad it's good
Yeah.
kind of movies. And so I hope to have that. And then, of course, there will be a lot of people who don't know what it is. And I hope that they will be curious enough to come see it. I think I can tell you the main plot.
Yeah, I
The
would like
main
to know like a
plot.
little bit of a synopsis of it. Yes.
Yeah, I can't tell you too much, but I can tell you that the main plot is that there's this brilliant yet reckless scientist slash surgeon who creates the special adrenolepto serum in hopes of people suffering less, basically, and death not being the end. And he and his fiance get into a car accident, and he manages to save her head and keeps it alive, and then searches for a body to replace hers.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So it's actually reminiscent of like other movies that I have seen. Like, I don't know if you've seen Reanimator in the 80s, which is sort of like they have.
Yeah.
I love the Reanimator. I think it's a good film.
Well, you love the show though, so you have to come.
Yeah, I know, because this is like right up my alley. You see, I created my background just for you.
Oh, yes. Very good.
Actually, like right in time for the spooky season. Like people are really going to be able to go see this as like a fun Halloween activity. When is the show?
The show is at Riverside Arts Center. It premieres on October 25th at 7 p.m. There's a performance. There are two performances on October 26th, 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. October 27th at 2 p.m. Then October 31st at 7 p.m. And to that performance, people are encouraged to come dress up if they would like to come see the show.
Oh, I hope they do.
I hope they do too. I can't wait. And then November 1st at 7 p.m. and November 2nd, our final day, is 2 p.m. and 7 p.m.
There's plenty of chances to see it, and it's actually like right up into that time frame where you really want to be doing like horror related things. So I think it'll be a great time.
Yes. And if anybody wants information on tickets, the site is brainmusical.com.
And you can get tickets right now already, right?
You can yeah, we've already been selling tickets. So we're not sold out yet. That's the goal. They're very reasonably priced so that we could get plenty of people to come see it. So I am super, super, super excited. I can't wait. I can't wait to give this to the world and to give this to Ypsilanti, because I think you'll really, really enjoy it so much.
Well, I think it's something even more special to have it just be like, this is almost like your baby, right? Like you're like, I'm showing this to the world. I created this, and you did it with children's theater, but it's totally different when you're doing it with adults.
Oh, yes. Yes, it is totally different. And yeah, I'm very excited to have the performers that we have. First of all, we have Jackie Blue as Janet, and Zach Husak as Bill, and we have Jared Bugby as Bill's lab assistant, and we have Timothy Henning, who will be playing 3 roles. I won't get into that.
And to believe it.
He's brilliant in all of them. And we have, let's see, Kennedy Vernango and Amy Van Dyke and Maria Halabaugh and Kimberly Locke. Oh my goodness. who will be playing multiple parts. And then we also have fantastic musicians. Sean McDonald is the music director, and Brian Buckner will also be playing keyboards as well as Sean, and John Churchville will be playing drums and percussion, and Brennan Andes will be playing bass. And we
Nice.
have an incredible production team too.
Wow, that's a lot of work to like have that musical aspect of it too, where you have to have all these composers and everything available. So I was actually curious because this is your own production company. So it's not like your typical PTD that you'd see at Riverside Arts Center. This is you. So were there any like challenges that came with you bringing this yourself and then not having like that group of actors that would normally come with PTD and be like, oh yeah, I'll audition for anything, but like this is all on your shoulders.
Yes. Well, these are all professional performers, and they all, sorry, I just moved that. And the challenges have been in producing it. We did get a chunk of money as the core funding, but we also have an Indiegogo campaign that ends October 1st. So I invite anyone to go to our Indiegogo campaign, which the information is at brainmusical.com for the Indiegogo campaign, because we do need some more funding to take us to the finish line, but we're just going no matter what. We're just plowing ahead. And so that's one challenge, is financial aspect. Also, as producer, because that's also what I'm doing, which I can't believe, I don't have a company behind me. When I've directed things before, I just kind of snap my fingers and say, well, get me this and this and this, and it just magically appears, and I don't have to worry about the budget, and I don't have to worry about where I'm going to get all this stuff from. So there's no set pieces that we just have hanging around. There's nothing we have hanging around. So everything is brand spanking new. And so getting all that together, that does make it, I think, more expensive too. But it's going to be well worth it, because we want to put on the best show we can.
Yeah. And you're basically like creating like a scientist lab or something, I would assume, in the scenario. So like you probably have to you're making stuff. Probably is part of it. Yeah.
Yes. And there are lots of special effects in the show too, which I think will be very exciting to the audience and mystifying.
Yeah, well, and you talk about budget, but you're like, you don't care. You're like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to figure out a way to do it with or without the budget, because I want it to have a certain quality for the audience.
Yeah. And I'm so lucky. My partner has been so hands-on. He's designed and building the sets, and he's also designing the special effects, and he's running sound, and he's been doing graphics and marketing. So he's just been incredibly supportive and, working very, very hard. So I wouldn't be able to do it without him, and I wouldn't be able to do it without our musical director either. They're just both so helpful, and our production team is just great.
Yeah, I don't know if people realize, especially like what you're saying, where you are the person that's doing everything, how hard certain things can be. Because I used to do stuff with Redbud Productions, and I remember they would keep all their set pieces in their garage at their house. Like their garage was just filled with stuff for plays. And
yes.
I mean, this is just the beginning for you. So maybe your garage will be filled too.
It already is. And so is their backyard right now. Right as we're speaking, there's drilling and hammering and all kinds of stuff going on in our backyard right now.
Well, this is obviously like a labor of love for you and the people involved. And that something makes it just so special when it's something like that. Like it just, obviously I can feel how much this show means to you. And why do you think people should feel that with you and come out to the show this late October?
Well, it is Halloween season, of course, and there are a lot of people who just love Halloween season. And if you just love Halloween, you will definitely love this show. There are people who love musicals. If I say so myself, I think the music's pretty awesome. And so I think that people will enjoy that aspect of it as well, plus the incredible musicians and singers that are going to be performing it. And I also think that the visuals are going to be stunning. And I think people, for such a, it's a small theater.
Mhm.
And I think that's absolutely perfect for this show because of the special effects and things that go on. I think it works in a more intimate setting. And I think people who love the movie are going to love this show. I think people who love 1960s B science fiction / horror movies are going to love this show. Yeah, there's nothing not to love.
Well, Carla, this sounds amazing. I'm marking the calendar. November 2nd is my birthday. That's the day I want to go.
Oh, great. Great. Please do.
But break a leg. I think it's going to be an amazing show, though.
All right. Well, thank you so very, very much.
Thank you.
All right.
For more on this and other programs, visit a2gov.org/CTN. Visit youtube.com/CTN Ann Arbor. See all that we have to offer, and remember to like, subscribe, and ring that notification. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time to FYI.